Okay, so I'm still working on my turbo installation, but I mentioned that my Holley Sniper controls the timing, and I had someone ask to explain that a little better. So I just popped off the cap. You know, the cap and rotor, totally stock. So if you look at this is just the stock Samurai distributor. So originally this distributor I had sent off to a guy named, I believe it's RJ Mallory. You can find him on Facebook. He kind of does a recurve and stuff on these. And so he removes the vacuum advance module here, or diaphragm. And so in mine, he makes a little plug. Plugs that hole right there. And so that's from him. I don't know what, I've never taken that out. I imagine that'd be something you could do yourself pretty easily. But what you need to do, so you can see the shaft and then that plastic thing there. Get a free hand here. So this guy here, underneath this plastic cover, is the magnetic pickup. So you can see these four kind of little points. As those spin by the pickup, that's what gives the computer the signal. And there used to be another piece over here. So you can see I'm trying to hold this. This is oriented the same direction. So that's the pickup. And then over here, I believe is like the ignition module, similar to like a GM HEI distributor. And then there's those two wires between them. So what I did is cut the two wires. I didn't care about this module anymore, so I cut the wires as close to this as I could, keeping the wires long, and then got rid of that module and extended the wires to a connector. And then this just plugs in to the the wiring that's really straightforward with the Holley ignition stuff. So what you got to buy is Holley's coil. And then I can't see it because it's under my cowl, but there's a Holley Hyperspark box that's basically the same thing as like an MSD like 6AL box or something like that. It's very similar. And that stuff is all plug and play with the Holley Sniper. So really the only connection you had to do is those two wires, extend it, and then I don't remember where the plug came from. Actually, I think I got the plug. I had bought a MSD distributor pickup because originally I thought I was going to have to put an MSD pickup inside this distributor to get the right output, but I was able to test them out, and the Samurai pickup put out the exact same output as the MSD one. That's why I was able to use this stock pickup. And so I think what I did is I cut the connector off of that MSD pickup. Holley and MSD stuff is interchangeable nowadays. Holley owns them. And so basically remove the module, extend the wires, make a pigtail, and then it needs to be locked out. And so from memory, I don't want to take this completely apart, but I think all I did was remove the weights. I think you can remove the weights, but keep the springs in place. And so because you can still twist this. So I just basically removed the weights and kept the springs because the shaft is two pieces. So remove the weights so there's no more centrifugal advance. And then underneath all of this is like a base bearing that lets the vacuum adjust the whole floor inside. You need that not to move. And so I basically just put two little tack welds in that bearing to make it solid. And then down in there is a couple little clamps. So the whole floor that all this stuff mounts to, it rotates inside the body of the distributor. And there's just a couple little like clamp screws. And so that lets you set the offset. And it's kind of fiddly to get that set up because there's a field in the software that you punch in, and it's basically, there's an angular offset of when this pickup is fired to when the spark actually happens. And I believe the field was like defaulted at 45 degrees. And so I left that there. And then I just rotated this until my timing physically with the timing light was where it was supposed to be. And then once that was set, that's been locked down and I don't touch it. And then I have had to make minor corrections just like you normally would with loosening the clamp and rotating the whole housing. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. You know, it was scary for me because I didn't know anything about it. And I had found some videos where guys had done some similar stuff with like older Chevys. So it was just kind of figuring it out, but you know, really, it was really pretty easy. You know, like I said, luckily this Suzuki output puts out the right signal for the Hyperspark box, and everything's been happy. And then when the guy tunes the engine, you know, he can set up the timing curve to make the best power and all that stuff. And there's definitely things you can do in the computer that I don't know if it would be impossible or be very difficult with just playing with weights and springs. And I mean, it works great. This thing cold starts like a brand new car. It just runs really good. The self-learning is so-so at best, in my opinion. Definitely worth having it tuned by someone who knows what they're doing. It took me a couple tries to find the right person. But the guy I work with now, he knows the stuff. And he's done a lot of weirdo stuff too. That's kind of the problem, is a lot of guys like, oh, I do LS engines and I've never done anything else, or Hondas. You know, a lot of people kind of have their field of expertise and haven't really strayed away. This guy I found is pretty well-rounded and is into weirdo stuff. So that worked out great for me. Trying to think, I don't remember there being anything else involved. I mean, obviously once you get the stuff all plugged in, you've got to go into the software and tell the computer what you're doing, you know, because there's basically like a setup to where it's stock ignition or, you know, letting the computer do its thing. So anyway, hopefully that's enough info and clears this up. If you got questions, you know, let me know, because I did this a couple years ago, and so I don't remember it perfectly. But if you have questions, I'll dig into it more and figure it out for you. All right, thanks for watching, and give me a like if this helps you out. All right, thanks for watching.